Just want to focus on the cornerstone, Jesus. The original followers were the followers of the way. That way, love thy neighbour, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Render unto Caesar, or Kaiser, depending how you want to pronounce it, to the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. The interesting thing about render unto Caesar, it seems to be saying, let the politics go where it will, we're going to be focusing on something else. Is that correct?
I can go with where you're going.
There are Christian fundamentalists who don't want to hitch themselves along with Christian nationalists. Christian nationalists tend to be fundamentalists, but not all fundamentalists are Christian nationalists. So when Christians say their nation is better than other nations, it could be patriotism. You're very patriotic. You believe that the culture and the people of your nation are something to be valued. If you were to put them above all others, that in itself is not a problem until you start to try and enforce your nation on others, and then you're talking about supremacy. Our nation is better than your nation. The revelation of grace coming from the time of Noah all the way through. What version of Christianity are we talking about? Are we talking about the Gospels, the more liberal Christian message, or is this Levitical? Laws and an institution governed by God. All gays have no place in the country. Anybody who's not Christian should not be permitted to have access to certain things. Is that the kind of thing that they believe? Some black Christian evangelicals have been interviewed, and they said that Christian nationalism is not for blacks, it's for whites, that Christian nationalism is fascism. Christopher Hitchens said that church that supported Hitler, they were praying for him even in 1945. Is there anything in that?
I think that this is really problematic from a Christian perspective. Really problematic. I personally don't think that there's anything wrong in being a nationalist, i.e. being proud of your nation. They've come from families who gather together as tribes, and as the tribes expand, you end up creating a nation state. And I appreciate that nation states in the way that they are today have been codified according to geographical boundaries and the rest of it. There is nothing wrong in having pride in your nation, and there should never be anything wrong in having pride in your nation. To use the word "you're a nationalist" as a slur, I find mind-numbing. What are you trying to say then? That we shouldn't have any pride in where we've come from? Both you and I have served our country. We have served the emblem of our country, which is the crown. And I was very proud to have served the crown. Do I think the crown does everything right? No. Am I still proud to have served the crown? Yes, I am. I have 4 children. Am I proud of everything that my children have done? No, not at all. But am I still proud of them as my family, as my tribe, all of my ancestry going back into the past? Yes, I am incredibly proud of them. In the same way as I will always be proud that I am, by birth, an Englishman who is living in his adopted home of New Zealand. Does that mean that England is perfect? No, hell no. Does that mean that New Zealand is perfect? Hell no. Can I still be proud of being a New Zealander and being an English born? Yes. I don't see that there's a problem in being a nationalist, full stop. I see there being an immense problem when a nationalist becomes a supremist, when you become, I am not only better than you, but you will conform to everything I tell you to do. Because you're now moving away from a family, familial connection to a dictatorship, totalitarian state. That is hugely concerning. So Christian fundamentalism, if that is the extreme, where they want a theocracy, you've got to be white, you've got to be this, is totally antithetical to everything Christian, so they can't even really call themselves that. Islamic fundamentalism, which is exactly the same, a theocracy where you can't do this, you can't do that. These are extremes where they are not healthy to be. If Christian nationalism pushes you out onto that extreme where you are disregarding the tenets and the commandments of the book in terms of applying the principle and the spirit of them, and you are just lifting out literal words off the page, then you've got a flipping big problem. In the same way as the Islamic faith has a big problem when it goes hard like it has done in various countries. And it's not just Christianity and Islam, is it? You'll have Hindus who have the same issues. Buddhists even have the same issues. Anywhere where people push themselves right out onto the fringes, you've got potential breeding ground for hatred, bigotry, division. And it's those breeding grounds which move completely out of what Christianity is or should be.